Good morning, and I want to say a happy Thanksgiving to everyone in the United States that is watching this video. I just want to share a little bit on something that God had laid in my heart from reading Genesis chapter 26. One of the things that I saw there was that there was another time of waiting. So we remember that Abraham and Sarah, they waited for 25 years from the time that God had promised them a child, which was a time when they started to have hope that they would have a child again. They waited for 25 years for God to do what he had promised. And then we saw here in chapter 26 that Isaac and Rebekah, they also waited 20 years to have children. And if you look further, you will find out also that Rachel, who was the woman that Jacob intended to marry, she waited also before she had Joseph as well. And so I started to have questions about waiting. What is the purpose of waiting? What's going on? Why the delay? If God is saying these things are going to happen, then why is there a delay in having those things happen? So there were a couple of things that God put in my heart concerning that. One of those is that when God is brewing something up, there's no rush. He doesn't rush with it. He takes his time to put this thing together. It's kind of like when you're building a beautiful house. You don't rush to build a beautiful house. You take your time and you make sure that you pay attention to every single detail in this house, right? It's the same thing with God. When he has promised to give you something, but now you're waiting for the manifestation of that thing. Don't think of it as a delay. Do understand that the longer you wait, the bigger the thing. That's how I'm thinking about it now, is that God is brewing something up. He's putting something together and he's paying attention to every single itsy bitsy detail of that thing. And that's why it's taking so much time. But I also want you to understand that there are other things that waiting does for you, right? And I think I've mentioned this before, is that waiting can build your endurance. Waiting builds up your faith as well, because it's not about just waiting, but it's also about how you wait. There are other things that go into waiting. It's waiting can be that place of preparation for you. It can be that place where God is training you, teaching you, where God is just guiding you into another level, or even building you up like he did with Joseph. In the case of Joseph, he was in that waiting season to build him up, to prepare him for where God was going to take him, so that when God gets him there, he would actually be able to handle it. So do understand that waiting does not mean delay. And don't consider waiting as a waste of time. And don't waste your time waiting either. There is something that God is expecting of you in that season of waiting. Just find out from God what it is and go ahead and do it. This is the second time I'm putting out a video on waiting. And that's because I want you to understand how important waiting is, and understand that the God that you serve is a faithful God. He knows your best interest and he has you in mind, and he wants to give you the best, but he's not going to rush and hurry up to give you the best that he has for you. So trust him and wait on him to do it when he said he will do it, because his timing is just best. Thank you.